Hello everyone, and welcome to my live here on the King G Gaming channel. I want to start by giving a huge thank you again to the subscribers and to anyone else that's tuning in to watch today. If it looks like I'm reading from a script, it's because I am, because my memory is terrible, and that's just how it's going to be. So, I want you guys to stick around after we announce the winner of the game drawing here. In just a second, I'm going to let my son do it. He wanted to be the one to present the award to you guys here, to the winner of our to our challenge of 50 subscribers, which you guys killed, absolutely killed. And I know that a lot of you are gonna, just here for the the prize, but that's fine. That's fine. I know a lot of you here are in the comments mentioned that you seem like you wanted the chill environment, and that's what I want to make here for the channel. So let's go ahead and again stick around. I got a couple life stories for you guys that I want to share that I think you'll enjoy hearing, and you could probably tell somebody else about even. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and let my son introduce the winner of our contest here. Or it's not a contest, it's that's not a good word for it. So, but anyway, he's going to present the award here. Go ahead.
Congratulations to @Floppy7758 for the 50 subscriber award for King's G Gaming Channel.
All right. And he said, congratulations. The award, we met up here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. It's pretty cheesy, but hey, I'm just getting started, so it is what it is. Everybody give a big thank you to James. Give him a thank you down in the comments section. Let him know that you appreciated him letting Floppy7758, I'm going to need to send you a message here. If Floppy7758 doesn't respond within a week, then I will select a new subscriber. He was the 50th, and he called it, and I put some thought into who I was going to pick, and he called himself out on it, so I just felt like it was fair for him to be the one. So somebody's got some gifts around here, but we're not really concerned about that. We're going to try to get into everything here, and so we can let you guys know what it's going to be like. So I want this to be a channel where people can come, hang out and enjoy an entertaining environment without the screaming. And I mean, I'll play some jump scare games, don't get me wrong, but it's not really the type of thing I'm trying to attract here. I work a full-time job. It's very stressful. I deal with the public, so this is something I enjoy. Gaming, it's my pastime. My hobby. Been doing it for a long time. So that's kind of, I consider myself a laid-back person, and that's what I want the channel to be about. I also want it to be a community where we can game together. If you guys are interested in something like gaming, doing a live together, being on my live, or even in a video, we can create a video. I'm going to need somebody to help me out with a Call of Duty Modern Warfare, how to improve your kill-death ratio. So I can use people for that. Queen, she is in the game. She's 6, so she's not talking or anything, but I'll play a lot of my stuff with her, and you guys are more than welcome to join us. Even if it's a collaboration thing. If, you got your own channel, and you want to do something together, you want to spread the love, or I'll spread the love with you. If you only have 10 going, that's cool, man. We can get together, we can do this. Again, I want it to be chill though, like no crazy screaming all over the place stuff. So well, we already kind of panned over that. So I hope you guys enjoy, what I do bring here. This is pretty much what you can look to expect. I'm not gonna, even with the intro and announcing who it was. I'm not a very excitable person. I mean, I do get excited, but I don't really show it like that. Again, just I can't emphasize the chill thing enough. Like, that's the best, especially when you work with the public. You just want to come chill. And I know there's a lot of you out there who want to do the same thing, and that's what I want to bring to all of us. And I try not to mention growth too much, like with the collaboration thing. But isn't that really what we all want? Is a chill ass environment with a bunch of damn people like that? I mean, that's kind of what I'm going for. I don't. Sorry, I don't want to. I'm not trying to engage with anything here. It's more about just sitting here letting people know what the channel's about than fighting all these little things. But so the one of the stories that I want to share is about a time that I got catfished. And I was young, and I would say was dumb, but I still do some dumb stuff. You just learn to keep it under control, I think, as you get older. You gotta eat food. So, a time that I got catfished. Okay, let me go back to my little notes here, because, again, can't keep track of anything to save my life. It'll get better, I would assume. Let's see. So, this would have been back in the early Yahoo chat days when that was a thing, and it's like before bots were a thing. Like the bots that we got to deal with these days, I mean, bot followers, bot posts, all this stuff, there aren't actually legitimate people. That's how I learned to type, even, is back in the day. I was probably 17, 18, I don't know. But so I've been on my own since I was about 16, though. And I was living with my grandfather, and I spent a lot of time doing that during the summer after I had broken my leg.
I don't have any idea where I'm at, just so you know.
I know where you are. Where I broke my leg, so I was sitting there in bed all the time. And Yahoo chat was the only thing to do. It's entertaining. People would get on there, it's the old days of ASL, as for age, sex, location, and when, well, shit, I mean, thinking about it, I guess you did have to be concerned about online predators. Like, thank God I'm not one, because I'm sure that they tried to damn bait you into it and shit. But I just wanted to meet people to, like, chill and talk to, kind of like now. And here we are, 20 freaking years later or so. And people are still doing the same thing. But so back to getting catfished, I was online and I'd find these girls to chat with, guys to chat with. It didn't really matter. You learn that you can't sit here and relate to anyone that's like younger. So then you just gravitate towards people that, that, hell, I don't even know what you would have talked about back then. But I've never been a real forward guy. With women, so it's like it was like a good thing to do. I was getting, I was maturing. So now I'm talking to this one girl. We'll call her Sally, and Sally and I go back and forth for several months. We're getting to know each other. Pretty early on, she sent me a picture of what she looked like. And the picture is of this brunette girl, and she's on a subway, and she's holding on to the subway pole. Again, this is 20 years ago, and I wasn't thinking about stock photos. This whole, like, internet chat thing was just blowing up. And she just sent me this photo, and I'm like, all right, and it's not all about looks. I'm not a shallow guy, but we'll get to the rest of that and the story. So we start talking, after that, and I'm talking to this cute brunette and everything, and it gets
I
to
already
the
did
point to
that.
where we
I don't know where
realize
you're at.
we have a nice have a nice personality, we share a nice person or a likeness to one each other, to talking with each other. And this goes on for several months. And then we start to think, should we meet? And so I live off the coast in South Carolina by 4 or 5 hours, somewhere in there. And real, well, it doesn't matter. But, so she lives at Myrtle Beach. If you are around the East Coast, then you know about Myrtle Beach. And, which now they apparently call Murder Beach. But I've never seen anybody get murdered there, and I've gone there my whole life. Anyway, so she lives at the beach. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, we should meet. Yeah, this is cool. I'll get to go to the beach, hang out with her. So I sit here and just, make plans to go meet this girl. And so I got my plans set, and she's living with her family. We're young. And she lets them know, he's going to come. And that prior night to me going down there, she informs me that she has something to tell me. And I'm like thinking to myself, at that time, back then I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, it's a dude. And I don't judge people for their preference. Like, in fact, my brother has his own preference, and I don't mind that. But anyway, but I'm thinking, this is what I'm gonna find out. This person that I clicked with so well is a dude, something that I'm not interested in personally. And so I asked her, I was like, so what is it? And I'm expecting that, and she goes, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism, and if you don't know what hypothyroidism is, it affects your thyroid and makes it overactive to where you can either have one or two outcomes, and this is just one of many. If I'm not a doctor. That it can be really hard for you to gain weight, or it can be really hard for you to keep weight off. So I'm asking, well, what are we talking here? And I'm getting around. And again, I'm not shallow, so I met this person. It was a good. I've had good conversations with him. So she said to me that she weighed about 208 pounds. Why I didn't ask for another freaking photo, I don't know. And there goes the dog. You'll have to excuse him. He gets excited when people come over. But why I didn't ask for another photo, I don't know. Like, I guess it was a thing you gotten in this far. It's a little bit late to back out now. And for that reason. So I go down there, and we went flying there. When I get there, 4 hours, we're talking the whole way. I get there, and let's just say she may have underestimated by about 100 pounds how much she actually weighed. So, again, we're back to me trying to be a good person, and also not for the women anyway. So, not being shallow, let's see. Still had good personality, despite the fact that she's a fucking liar. Sorry for my French, not sorry. That's also what, you're going to get here on the channel. Don't try to sugarcoat that. It's not like every other word. I've gotten better. So we get that visible truth of what had been falsely fed information to myself. And I come back home after I stayed there for about a week. We hung out, we went to the beach and to the park, and don't really remember what else. Her family was cool. Her family was cool, and they were cool with me. So I come back home, and we keep talking, and I'm still processing everything. I'm starting to think to myself, is this what I want to do after the fact of that? And because I'm me, yes is the answer. Yes is the answer to that. I decided that I was going to keep going back and forth with this girl. And not only that, after several more months, probably 4 or 5, somewhere in there, I moved there. I moved to the beach with this girl who has lied. So I let myself be like, not just regular catfish, like super catfish. Move there, but it's the beach. And then there's a girl who, even though she lied about who she was, I mean, yeah, still the girl. And so, you know, I do all this prep work, and after about 3 months, I got everything straightened out. I moved in just a car. It was a 1990 Grand Marquis, if any of you know what that is, boat of a car. So I pack up what little stuff I had at that point, because when you're on your own since 17, or 16, 18, 19, you move, you hop around, you lose stuff. You don't. Why would I not just walk down this? But you move a lot, so you don't really have a lot of possessions. You're just trying to get out on your feet. I don't even know how in the world. I was probably, thanks to my grandfather, my late grandfather, who since passed at the end of last year.
Where the fuck did you run off to?
Then, I have him to thank for a lot of where I'm at today, which I can get into that. And like I said, I got tons of stories. But so I prepped for about 3 months to move there. Moved down there with a little bit of stuff that I have, and I lived there for a year, on and off different jobs. At one point, I had this temp agency job where what did we do? I had to go in at like 4 o'clock in the freaking morning, and I don't know what the hell you would call it. Set up for a wedding. I'd like set up for a wedding, and so that was terrible. Nobody wants to do that for probably what was like $8 back then. It didn't pay worth anything. So it was a job. So once I did that for a little bit, then the temp agency also got me a job at Rent-A-Center in North Myrtle Beach, and I was driving like an hour to go there every day, which was awesome because I got to pass by this skateboard park. And at that time, I was getting back into skateboarding from when I was a little younger, and I would stop there almost every day and skate for hours, and it was so hot. But I ended up working at Rent-A-Center, and the temp agency job wasn't working out, so the girl that I was seeing and living with her parents that had lied, her dad was like, we'll get you a job working at this construction company where I guess her brother-in-law worked at. And it was just general contract construction. But it was money. It probably paid like $8.25 an hour back then. It's like, if you think about it, really, minimum wage didn't go up a lot until COVID. It's kind of crazy. But probably about $8.25 an hour. And we were hand digging footers for houses. And I don't know if anybody that's watching or gonna watch this video has ever been in the construction business before. But when you dig a footer, it's probably like almost 2 feet wide by about 3 feet deep. And when you're doing these for like 1,400 square foot houses by hand, it is incredibly taxing. I should have put a marker on the quest, but I didn't. But so I go from that to the guy doing, that I was working for doing the construction. He was getting mad because we were digging like 2 of these things a day, 2 1,400 square foot house footers. Over here about to die. Like, and back then I was way more in shape than I am now. And watch this, if you shoot these things, they just run away. He's mean looking too. But I'm just gonna run away from this. I don't want to have to kill him. But so way more in shape back then, and I can't. And the guy's bitching at us because we're not doing it fast enough. He's like, you should be doing 4 of these a day. I'm like, 4 of these a day? You should be getting a backhoe. Like, nobody, even back Dan's going to be sitting here hand digging footers, man. If you got a construction company, you got to sit here and get some equipment. You can't have people hand digging footers. That's nuts. But so I didn't want to do that anymore. So then the girl's dad, she was like, okay, so we, work for, or I work for a company that, we hang drywall. So most of what he did was transport the the dry sheets of drywall. We'd load them up on the truck, unload them. Sheetrock mud buckets weighed like 65 pounds a pop. So it's hard work, but still was better than digging footers for a freaking house. And so I go in and I'm doing that for a while. And these are just little odds and ends jobs that I ended up doing while I was living there. Up until one day, and I don't remember the exact situation, but excuse me. Her mom said something derogatory about my mom, and I let it bother me, I guess, back then. You learn none of that stuff matters really when it comes down to it anyway, because people say things. But that lady, she wasn't going to back down. Sorry, that thing was going to kill me. And usually they will learn a lesson if you kill one, but it doesn't. And I'm trying to get out. No. And so her mom said some things about my mom, and I wasn't going to have that. And I wasn't, incredibly rude or anything, but I just let her know that, like, I wasn't going to, sit here and let her talk about my mom when, she has her flaws just like anybody. And she doesn't even know my mom. She's never met my mom. She's never even talked to my mom. So she, doesn't even have a right to form an opinion, in my opinion. So she sits there, and after that issue unfolds, then she decides that she didn't agree with what her mom had said. And since, like anybody, when her mom and I got into it, then her dad steps in, props to him, like you would, but took it a little far with the, like, threatening to kill people. That's a little bit crazy. But, to each their own. Again, it's South Carolina. No offense, but it can get, it's the dirty South. But so she decides that she didn't agree with it either, and that she's actually going to move back to the area where I live with me, back to live with my grandfather, where I recovered after breaking my leg in the car accident. And I do jump to things, I guess you could say. That's a stupid ass way to put it. But rash decisions. I make rash decisions. I met this girl on the damn internet and moved to the damn beach. Again, it's the beach. It's the beach. You like the beach. Anyway, so I tried to actually make sure that this wasn't a rash decision, because I can do what I want with my life, but I don't try to get people to alter their life unless they're sure that's what they want to do. So we go over, she makes it out to seem like that's what she wants to do, and yeah, I'm just walking around aimlessly so I can tell my story, but it's cool, right?
Hello, friend.
They're giving me the food. But they usually give you like exquisite stuff. So I sit here and I make sure that moving here is.
Improve your equipment.
What are they giving us? Superior something. Storm ski resin. All right. Anyway, so she says, yeah, that's what she wants to do, and she's falling out with her parents. And if you're younger or whatever your relationship situation may be, you just don't get. Okay, so you wouldn't bet a relationship being prosperous on a fallout with somebody and their own parents. No matter what the situation, no matter how wrong or right anybody is. But she said that's what she wanted to do. So, hey, look at you. How'd you get up here?
I forgot how to put it away.
That's what he said.
I don't remember.
But so she moves back, and it lasts a week. Maybe every day, from the start, her parents, were calling her. This is before FaceTime and Google Meet and all that stuff. And, I know you had video calls and crap like that. But nobody was doing that, and so she was homesick after just that short amount of time, and I understood, you know, and I just kind of started pushing for, you know, her. You're not gonna be happy if you stay here. So I don't know what I actually looking for here, but so she moves back, and we, you know, we remain friends and whatnot, and just kind of agreed. Like her parents, I think shortly after, if I'm not mistaken, she moved out back out of her parents' house into her own place, and after she moved back into her own place, and we stayed friends for that little while. I don't know, Queen, if you can pick that thing up, but you know, we maintained being friends and all, and you know, kind of in a way, I got a way out without having to be a colossal jerk, you know, or making it about somebody's appearance or whatnot, because we all know I'm the hottest thing ever. I am not. I'm not. Well, anyway. So then, you know, so we're carrying on our thing, and I have no idea where I'm looking for. So we're doing our thing, or I'm doing my thing, and you know, you think that as you get older, you learn from experiences. You gain these experiences, and that's what makes us intelligent enough and keen enough, if we use it right, to raise our own kids one day and thrive for them to be better than we are. And so you try to learn from your mistakes, and you wonder at what point you start to actually do that, because I get onto Yahoo chat, you know, and I'm back at it. ASL, you know, what's up to everybody, and you're kind of more hesitant now, and you did learn a little bit. You're like, you know, so we're gonna make sure this time we got more than one freaking stock photo on sent over Yahoo chat to gauge who these people actually are. So several months or a few months of going back at this ASL deal and looking for more people to chat with, then I meet this other girl that I start talking to. And again, I'm not just, you know, I am a Cancer, so, and that means I'm born in July for anybody that's not astrologically keen on signs, I guess is a good way to put it. So, and while I'm a clingy crab, then I still like to, you know, if I can get a few girls talking to me, I mean, who doesn't want to? But, so I'm talking to people, and this one, we'll call her, I don't know. So
Betty.
we are, Betty. Okay, Betty. But Betty's terrible. How about, oh man, I just realized that I don't have a chat up or anything. If anybody is in here trying to chat, and I am incredibly sorry. So let's go ahead and make sure. So we'll stick with Betty, just because. Sorry about the chat. Okay, so now I can see the chat. And again, thank you for anybody who is watching. I mean, I don't actually know what this thing right here means or what all that says. So it says 0 chat rate, so I'd assume nobody was chatting anyway, probably just listening or not. And I hope somebody does come back to watch this video. Anyway, thank you for subscribing. So I'm doing my thing on Yahoo Chat again, and now though, bots are starting to become a thing. And Cheetah Chat, if any of you remember Cheetah Chat, there's your thing. I know a lot of other people, and I may have actually met this girl off MSN Chat, because Microsoft, whatever that was a thing too. And but either way, no matter how I met her, the story is the same. So, and this is story number 2, by the way, and story 2 of,
Hey, I gotta eat. Hold on.
God knows how many.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Queen's gotta eat. I'm gonna eat this. You gotta be careful with eating
Okay.
stuff because you sit here and you eat. This is just 100%.
We're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, so I'm talking to this other girl, and I'm like, you know, I've got more pictures of this girl, and I sit here, and she happens to be not 4 hours away. She is like 40 minutes or 30, 40 minutes away. She actually lives where I live now. Where I lived at the time, I was about 30, 40 minutes away. So, what? And I have no idea. No, I don't know where she lives anymore. But, because that was forever ago too. But not pristine, and I got rain. So if we find more sticks, then I can get that. But anyway, so I know I say so, but anyway, but I'll work on it. Just hang tight with me. And so this girl Betty, thanks Queen, she and I go back and forth, and she lets me know, she's like, yeah, I live with my grandmother. You know, she's disabled. I don't remember exactly. I think her grandmother was diabetic, so she had like like leg problems and stuff. I guess a lot of people with diabetes end up with problems with their legs. My uncle has diabetes, and he's got eye and healing problems more so. But I'm not gonna kill these innocent little critters here. They don't hurt you. Luckily, they just run away in fear. But so her and I are talking for who knows how long. Time goes by so fast, and then you try to recall it, and it's just. But her and I start talking, and she's bored. I'm bored. We decide that we're gonna meet, and it's been a little while since the last chick and everything. We pretty much grown apart. She had met somebody that she was actually engaged to at the time, so it was a fair amount of time. I didn't just go hopping back in. Again, we had to verify what this girl at least looked like. Excuse me again. I knew that she wasn't, uh, the brightest person. I'm not the most intelligent person. I like to consider myself fairly intelligent. But the point is, spelling is a thing for me. I like people who can spell. Sorry, but I always wanted to be able to speak properly if I had to, and it actually turns out that's what I do every freaking day is my job now. These things don't hurt you, do they? Okay, that's my job. Don't really like it, and I'd way rather rather of course than do that. I'd rather be here doing what I enjoy, which is playing video games and hanging out with other decent people. Oh my god, it's more angry things. Sorry, I didn't mean to panic there. I know that's not what it's supposed to be about. But so Jesus, my train of thought. The mouth dryness doesn't help much either. Not a sponsor. Not a sponsor. Oh, that little angry thing's still here, but they're not messing with me yet. Or are they hurting me? And that's a little red thing names up there. Yeah, Queen's fighting them. Queen's getting bitten by them, I think. But so this girl, I go back and forth. I'm seeing her. I meet her grandmother's taking care of her. Now that I think about it, I have no idea. Like, I'm sure I probably asked back then what happened. Like, were there. But no, she had to have at least had, some type of actual parent taking care of her because she wasn't always with her grandmother. And so I'm hanging out with her here and there, and we just general date stuff, going out to eat, movies back then when people still did that. Now I didn't want to go to a movie back then. Now it's just like an excuse to not go out because I'm actually kind of an introvert. I know that doesn't match well with my job, but it pays. It pays so I can bring you guys this stuff. And so what was I doing then as an occupation? As an occupation, then I had somehow, so I went to school. I went to actually to high school and have some college credits to be an electrician. So I know electrical work, and that's what I was. Bless you, but that's what I went to school for. Wound up in the electrical field, and that was my occupation at the time. So I'm talking to this girl in between on the weekend. She's going most of the time to her grandmother's house, and I'm like, that's sweet. We'll go, hang out over there. And her grandmother, if I'm not mistaken, did exact same thing that probably my first
Don't think I'm
girlfriend
jumping
did.
back over those.
What, you don't want to jump it down there? I'll probably land on the dirt if I do anyway. But so this girl, I keep saying this girl, Betty. Betty's going back and forth with her grandmother's. I'm coming on the weekends to her house, or to her grandmother's house. We're going hanging out and stuff, meeting her friends. Her friends were not the type of company that I personally would keep.
Jesus.
To each their own.
Oh.
Again, I like good company. It didn't take me long to figure out these are not the type of people that I would be hanging out with her on a frequent basis. Everybody's had those people. We're like, you got your friend or your girlfriend or boyfriend or whatnot, and when you go meet their friends, and you're like, I'm gonna let you go hang out with them on your own. So
All right,
that's
something's coming for you.
those type people. And so this girl had met my friends, and actually this guy who I will call Wyoming in this thing because that's where he was from. Craziest dude I ever met, which I can go down the thing of that friendship later on. Just know he's a part of it. But so and this is another thing too. So there's Tech Nine. If you guys know who Tech Nine is, I listen to a lot of different music, like anything and everything, like not jazz or classical. I'm not 90, but no offense if you're young and like classical or jazz, again, to each their own. I support that. I don't think I want to mess with that, and so we're hanging out with each other, and she's cool and she's prettier and she's so to me that's a plus. We're moving up a little bit, and
Oh shit, behind me.
oh, we got stuff attacking.
Oh shit, behind you.
Oh, it's hurting me. So I meet those
fuck?
two people, and so this girl and I end up doing what couples do. And I've always been a person, and I think so. I heard this said one time that, and it makes absolute sense.
Where are you?
That pathological liars, and then there are pathologically honest people. I'm probably pathologically honest to a fault. I guess you would call it a fault. I mean, what you would consider a fault. I'm pretty blunt when it comes to talking to people. I mean, that's at work. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't try to be like a huge D-bag, but I do get my point across. I mean, we're not going to sit here and talk about something that I feel strongly about, and I'm not going to even usually bring it up because I'm an introvert if I don't think that I am 100% right. I love a good debate. I love it. Probably should have been on the debate team or some crap in high school, but no thank you. And no offense to if you like the debate team. I don't care. But so she said there she knows that I like appreciated honesty, and that's one of the reasons that we even still talked was because she knew that I wanted to be honest, or knew that I was going to be honest with her, and that I also would appreciate that be reciprocated. And these stupid ass eggs. But
Alright, I need to find you again. Where are you at?
I
You're
gotta
somewhere over here.
put those trigger stops. But so she sits there, and we had gone, and I remember it just like yesterday-ish. And she sat there and she goes, how that I know you want me to be honest. And I'm like, well, yeah. And she sits there and she tells me, she goes, well, I have something to tell you. And again, here we go back with the I have something to tell you again. And I've learned that no matter how much you prepare for stuff, and this stream is an example of it. Like, I at least don't operate that way. I think a lot of it's got to do with how my inability to pay attention, uh, my inability to pay attention, and I seem to do better on the fly. If I write things down, usually that helps me remember them. And if I, kind of just read over it, then it gives me a general idea of which place I want to take things. So I always try to anticipate things, but it never works. I always anticipate the worst because I'm an overthinker.
Stay where you're at. I'm coming to you.
Okay. I always anticipate the worst because I'm an overthinker, but it kind of helps in some situations where, and if you're an overthinker, you know this, and you are, is pessimistic the word that I'm looking for? Probably. I don't try to use words that are big that I don't know, but I try to describe things the best I can. So we're going. So we stopped at Wendy's. We got food at Wendy's, and what is this thing talking about? So we got food at Wendy's, and we're going around to where my parents at the time lived because I know the area where my parents grew, or where my parents ended up moving to. I'm up in the tree. I just know that area like the back of my hand. I mean, everybody, once you get old enough to ride around, you ride around your old stomping grounds and stuff. That's what you do when you're bored. Just waste the hell out of gas money. Like, you don't know, you might need it later or something. And you're broke anyway. You're broke using your last like 15, 20 bucks for gas. And gas was probably like $1.99 if we were lucky back then.
Feel free to come down where I'm at.
Okay, I'm coming. But, so, we're going down this street. A rough street. The streets in South Carolina, if you've ever been here, are absolute ass. Like, all of them. All the streets are the exact same. There's like when I grew up, they actually paved my parents' road, which is kind of weird because they don't live like in the middle of nowhere. Excuse me. But they don't live in the middle of nowhere, but they do live, on the outskirts of what you want to call the city. And she's telling me this. We got the food in the car, and she goes, those two people that you met, the ones that I would not associate with on a daily or relatively ever basis, then the same night that you and I did our thing, then those two people and I also did a thing, and like, this is all new territory to her. I don't even think this girl had been with anybody before she had been with me. And then so after that point, I didn't care, and wasn't going to ask because she seemed a little, newish, and she sat there, and I don't know what she expected my reaction to be. Like, I'm not an explosive person. I don't like to be like backed into a corner, but I mean, isn't that like kind of human nature? But I wonder if you can grab those. I bet not. I bet it's a good way to die. And I'm trying to take this in. We're already down this freaking road again. And
Lost you.
I jumped off this cliff. But so I'm trying to take all this in, and then I sit there, and we're still going down the road, and I was like, all right. I was like, well, I said, you have no idea how much I appreciate your honesty. I mean, and I do. And I still respect to this day her being honest about it. That I said, but to me, that's like too much. And I don't know who, for anyone, that wouldn't be too. Ooh. Let's see how well this goes. You guys ready for it? Oh, God. Oh, and I'm dead. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't die. I just got to heal. Okay, sweet. So she tells me that, and we're going down the thing, down the road, and she's not saying a word. She's not saying anything at all. And she sits there and tells me that, sorry, buddy, this is Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Like, I wish it was third person, but and props to the admin of the PS5 community on Facebook for even making me think about the fact that this would have been better and more, probably scenically aesthetic if it were third person. It'd be neat to kind of stand back and see him climbing on things. But anyway, so I told this girl that that's just a little bit much, and so she's not saying anything while we're going down the road, going down my parents' road, and she pops her seatbelt off. And I'm thinking that, there's no way that what you're thinking is the worst that could possibly happen is actually going to happen this time. That you're overthinking it. There's no way. And so we keep going down the street, and I told her, I said, don't do anything stupid. And we're going 45 miles an hour. I remember it specifically. We're going downhill. We're almost at the end of my parents' road. And I kid you not, as soon as the door pops open, this freaking girl is out the car. Like, what the actual fuck just happened in my life? I slam on the brakes. And I mean, I know there was skid marks leading up to it. I locked them up, and I was so okay. Then I'm mad. Then I am so mad, like unbelievably mad. Not get out like do crazy people stuff mad, but as mad as I can be. And I sit there and get out, and I told her, I said, you just fucked my life up. Because at that time I was pretty sure that is what had happened. And so I get her in the car. She's a little battered. I can't tell exactly what had happened. These little things are so weird how they just spring them about, because it's not like I can climb this, but they make you move faster. These little blue things make you move faster. And this is, if you can't hear me, I don't know that all people can. But she bails out of the car. And so I can't tell. I can't tell it's nighttime too, by the way. It's nighttime. So I get out of the car, scream that at her, that you just effed my life up. And she's not really talkative, but I don't
You made
know
it to the Tarot Echo yet?
if that's because have I made it to what?
The pneumatic Tarot Echo?
No, I head that way.
I'm here now.
Okay, I'm headed that way. Sorry, but she sits there and she's not really responsive. We go back to my grandfather's apartment where I'm staying again at the time, and then I'm able to see her in light. And she had become wasn't unresponsive. She just kind of seemed fuzzed. But again, you don't know, you don't know exactly what to think. So I get there and turn the light on, and she's got road rash. Like, I'll move so you guys can see. She's got road rash, like down beside her breast, like down the side here, down her hip. And she's also, it looks like she's got a little bit where, like, an impression on her leg where I'm pretty sure I ran her leg over. And I don't even like saying I ran her leg over, because this girl's the one who bailed out of my freaking car. But, so, obviously I'm like, I got to take you to the hospital. Like, you are not good. And she sits there and she's like, no, I don't want to go to the hospital. I'm fine. Now, on the way in the house, she had kind of almost passed out. And that's what made me know that, or assume she needed to go to the hospital. I want to say my brother had a concussion when I was like 10 or 11, so I knew what kind of it looked like when somebody had a concussion, and that's what it did seem like to me. I knew concussions back then, and it's actually a myth that you and you can fact check me on this one, that you shouldn't go to sleep that when you have a concussion. That's old myth, that it's okay for somebody to go to sleep, not with a concussion, not with brain swelling, I'm sure. But so I'm like, all right, so if you say that, then we're gonna let you sleep. And I did keep her up for a while, and we're to probably 2 a.m. I'd been kind of watching over and everything at this point. And she sat there, and so we go to bed, and I'm sure I didn't sleep well throughout the night, worried. And we get up the next morning, and I'm like, you need to go to the hospital. We need to get you checked out, because she's talking about how her side's sore. Everything's starting to sink in. And so I'm supposed to go to work. She was supposed to go home. She wasn't supposed to jump out of my freaking car. I had to go to work the next day. It's a Monday. She was there Sunday. We were going to get food before she tells me all this stuff. And Queen, if you want to lead me to the objective, then I'll just follow you.
Okay.
So she's, so then now all of a sudden I have to sit here and deal with going to the hospital. I already know it's going to happen. Like, I already know it's going to happen. I'm going to look like the dude who pushed this girl out of a moving vehicle, or whatever they think. Because I couldn't look at what was happening with her and sit there and tell you that, like, oh, that's what happened. Like, this person jumped out of a moving vehicle. And she said, and like, so I call my job. I call out of work, and they told me, if you can't come in today, and I explained the situation to them, and that probably sounds like complete BS, but what do you do? And so Queen, you want to activate that thing? This is what you gotta. Oh, this is the bench, I think. Oh, we're at the headquarters. So I go to, so I take her to the hospital. And there's this male doctor, and this male doctor's like, he's not saying anything. He's not saying anything. He doesn't want to, this is, I don't know if like HIPAA was a thing. If it was, I'm sure it wasn't that prominent or paid attention to back then. Maybe it was. I don't know. I'm not that freaking old. But she, so this male doctor is looking at me, I know what he's thinking. You did this to her, whatever the case may be. And she's telling him, no, that's not the case. And the grandmother, again, if you've been watching this whole time, you know that the grandmother, she's disabled. So she's telling me, I went and I told her exactly what happened, because I'm not going to be the one blamed for this, even though it's just one of those things, it doesn't matter. But so the grandmother's like, yeah, you got to take her. I can't take her. I didn't want to take her. So I had already lost my job, and then go to take her to the hospital. I'm getting looked at like I'm the one who did this to the poor girl. Or I guess I'd call her poor. Poor me. I don't know who this poor one is in this situation. But so I look like I'm the one who did it. And the whole scenario is just god awful. And I deal with all that. What they didn't really do a whole lot for her. They did look her over for a concussion. They cleaned up the road rash that she had. I don't even think they bandaged her up or anything, because for somebody who jumped out of a 45 mile an hour vehicle, she looked pretty good, despite the fact. So I find messed up stuff funny sometimes. So deal with that too. But who are you really if you can't laugh, right? But so you can traverse a bunch of crap. But so we go through that ordeal. I've lost my job.
Hey,
Oh,
what do you
Queen
got
found
for
the
me?
objective for us. How about that?
Tablet I found. Dropped by one of our people. Do you think you can fix it?
I'll stop if you guys
Ouch.
want to see this
Wish I
part
could
of the
say
story
yes.
for a second.
But what this tablet needs is a prayer, not a scientist. You said it
Or
belongs
if
to
not,
someone
I'm
with
watching the
resistance?
chat now periodically.
Yeah.
If you guys are watching,
Human,
you put
based on the
something down there.
blueprints
I'll
I
see
found
you.
nearby, and female, judging from the audio recording I snagged from it. They made a point to record in privacy, away from HQ.
A human female. Well, that narrows it down. Good luck.
So apparently, Queen could just drag me through the entire missions just by doing all the work. That sounds great to me. But I do like to play. So okay, back to the story. So this dude Wyoming that I was talking to you guys about, that was the best guy friend I've ever had by far. Crazy as I don't know, but he he's the first person that I ran to. I mean, he was my best friend. You know, I probably, I'm sure, did what everybody does when you get a chick in your life and didn't show up as much. But as soon as this happened, I mean, I'm sure I caught him. I'm like, dude, you gotta hear about this. So after I endure the whole doctor ordeal and looking like a complete total tool, like I'm responsible for pushing somebody out of a moving vehicle or whatever was thought up, then I go to him, and we go, and I'm sure we went out and we had some drinks, you know, and we're carrying on our life and going to hang out. And we ride in his vehicle. And okay, so back to earlier, I started to say this, but my ADHD got me. Tech Nine in one of his songs says something, and I don't remember the name of the song, about how it's I'm a Player by Tech Nine. So if you, I hope I can't get in trouble for calling out songs. I'm new, obviously. I don't know, but he has a song, and he talks about if you want to be a player.
Any idea who might own that broken tablet?
They went out to record alone. So someone bold and proud. Maybe too proud for their own good. If they value privacy over personal safety.
So I think we have to find the people, Queen. But
I am. I'm talking to him.
oh, okay. So
You do you. I'm working.
I am. But okay, so I'm hanging out with Wyoming. If I said his name, it doesn't matter anyway. I know you're never gonna see this. We're like 2 decades apart. Not in age, but hanging out. And so
I think this tablet belongs to you.
No, sorry. Mine's tucked away safely in my locker. See all these scuff marks? It might belong to someone who's a bit.
No, we already talked
let's
to her,
say.
but they want us to talk to her again.
him and I are hanging out, and well, it doesn't necessarily want you to talk to her. You might have to try to find the new objective, which I think it's highlighted.
It told me to ask around.
Oh, okay. So you're just asking different people. I got you.
So that's what I'm doing. You keep doing your thing.
Okay.
I'm busy.
And so I'm hanging out with Justin. After that girl cost me my job, the lying or not the lying. She was honest. After the brutal honesty, should I say? I definitely was not feeling that anymore. Like, I cut her off. And don't worry, the story is not over yet. It goes on with this girl. She pops back up.
They went out to record alone. So someone
well, at least you guys can still read the captions in here.
Maybe
So
too proud for
the
their own
girl,
good, if they value privacy
like,
over personal safety.
sorry. So he says if you're gonna be a player in the Tech Nine song, then you never take a girl to, I guess, your girlfriend's house. Or to someone's house the same way you take her one way, essentially, and bring her back another. And so that's how, so she can't find her way. Oh, that's to your house. So you never take her to your house the same way, and you never take her back, bring her there, and you take her back a different way so that she can't remember. Because they say women can really remember how to get somewhere.
Keep it up.
And this has tested itself to be true over time.
I'm listening.
That's fine. It's the truth. You guys remember, like, really well of directions of how to get to a house. And
Sure, I know what home feels like yet.
so we're hanging out, and instead of driving the Grand Marquis, we would take his little, it was like a red '89 Honda, and this red '89 Honda, it was a piece of junk, man. We used to skate off of it. We used to do like 50-50 stalls on the bumper and crap, and pull the e-brakes when we're going down the street out in the country. It was so much fun. And we tore that poor thing to shreds. But we'd ride around in his car, so we go out. And one day, and this girl didn't drive either, by the way. I guess her mom always dropped her off. I never did meet her mom, but she managed somehow to get to Wyoming's house. And if you remember, I told you
Have you been out in the
that she
rainforest
wasn't the most
Well, yeah. I'm a pilot.
intelligent
I go out all the
person.
time.
So
Gotta keep an eye
she
on
had
those
actually
RDA
remembered the way
patrols,
back to his house, found my
Any
vehicle,
chance you
which at
dropped
the
a
time I
piece
always left
the
unlocked,
last time you went out?
and left a large manila
No way.
envelope
The only way I could
stating
do that is if I'm literally dropping a
that
tablet from the cockpit
she
or something.
apologized for I told her once more through chat. I said the only thing left that I'd let
Hi,
her
Daddy.
hold my gold
you been out
necklace
in the
that I wore back
rainforest
then.
recently?
And I told her, I said, that's
Other
the
than
only
the
thing that I
field
want. I
labs,
just
as
want my
usual?
gold necklace back.
No.
You know, and my grandmother had
Is
given
it
it to me.
possible you might have
And man, my
dropped
grandma
or
bought me that
misplaced
chain.
something by accident on the way
But
down? A piece of tech or
she did.
gear.
And so
No, I
I
don't
just wanted
drop
that back.
stuff.
It had
I
sentimental
don't leave
value.
behind
So
trails.
she had left
No
that in a
clues.
manila envelope with a note
If I
that
leave
said that
something
she
for
was
you to
sorry
find,
for everything that
it's
she
not
had
by
put me
accident.
through, and that she
I'm
was
sneaky
returning
like that.
my nickels, which obviously was necklace, but she spelled nickels. I barely know how to spell nickels as it is. She nailed nickels, was shooting for necklace, but nailed nickels. And
A tidy med bay is ready for anything.
I couldn't imagine
so
going back there.
I'm like, okay, so then I'm freaked out a little bit that this girl knows where my best friend at the time lives, and that I'm going to have to probably watch my back because she, in my opinion, obviously is a stalker now. And I'm not really, it's not like I'm afraid, but you don't want to have to deal with that. You know, it's just on a realistic level. You don't want to deal with that. Like, that's the whole reason why you're trying to cut her off. Like, not so she can stalk you. But if she's going to jump out of your car, then who the hell knows what else she's capable of. And so, you know, we keep hanging out. And after a while, that fades. So months go by, and I haven't talked to her. You know, I think she may have asked if I got the nickels, the necklace, at one point, and you know, I did respond, yes, thank you. And I don't know. She kind of let it go. I was surprised that she had seemingly let it go. You know, look over your shoulder, but she seemed like she had seemingly let it go. So I wasn't too worried. So some months goes by, and malls were still a thing. Actually, if you guys want, then leave in the comments if you want me to do like a video of a mall. Like, I'll post all kinds of content. Like, if you guys are interested, I'm interested in a whole bunch of random crap. I love abandoned places. There's actually an abandoned pool here from back in like 1985. And it's like an Olympic-sized pool where there used to be this huge diving board. I won't, like, just in case you guys do want to see that, like, I won't spoil it. But, I mean, this place is so cool. If you guys like to see stuff like abandoned places, then we'll do that. I can do live on my phone while we actually go to these places. I think that'd be cool. But just let me guys know in the comments if, you know, or comments are in the chat if you're watching now. And if you are watching again, thank you. Like, this really does. So I'm going to try to end the story with her. So we're back to the malls, and then I'll touch on the other thing here. But so malls were still a thing. And I can't write with my finger. Malls are still a thing. And so this is 7 months after I've seen this girl, and I'm at the mall by myself. And the malls, even back then, especially here, had already kind of started to decline. So, splash. And so there's not many people in the mall, you know. And wherever I go, me being an introvert, I don't really I don't know how to pull this one. So me being the introvert, I when I'm out and I'm at a mall, which I haven't been to a mall, and I think Queen and I went to a mall, God, maybe a couple of years ago, but we so we I'm in this mall and I think I look across the food court and there is Betty. If you remember, Queen gave us the name for her, Betty, earlier. And Betty and her friend. Betty is knocked up. Like, I swear to you guys, I can tell you this. This is bullshit. Like, this, I could tell this story 100. I've told this story 100 times because this kind of shit you cannot make up. So we're at this mall. I see her and her friend across the way. Exploravid, I support. It is an Exploravid somewhat. I can do an Explore video. I mean, I'm gonna run out. Well, I won't run out of stories, that's for sure. But so this girl is knocked up, and she's with her friend. I don't even know her friend. Never met that friend. We had met the other friends, and my first thought is, oh man. So I've never really wanted kids. I have one now, but life takes you in amazing places, and this is actually one that I mean, I hope this. I love doing this. This is fun to me. Obviously, you can see I can sit here and just talk and talk and talk, but I love doing this. And Queen, where was I at?
I'm looking for it right now.
I forgot what I was saying. Somebody help.
You just do you.
I was, but I forgot what I was saying.
I don't know. I can't.
Oh,
really
okay.
hear
So
you.
no. Back to the mall. Back to the mall. Back to the mall. So the she sits there, and the girl Betty doesn't walk up to me. Her friend, and we'll call her friend.
Betty.
No, she's Betty. They can't both
Paige.
be Betty. Paige. Okay, so Paige, Betty's friend, walks up to me and she goes, and you're already thinking again, back to my mental process, the absolute worst. This girl's knocked up. What in the world are you gonna do with your life now? Since you didn't want kids. This girl, why hasn't she told you over chat she's knocked up? Obviously, she's been knocked up for a minute, and there's no question of maybe I'm just a little chubby. Oh no, you're like 7, 8 months pregnant, and her friend walks up to you and goes, "You and Betty need to talk." And so you're over there trying not to have a heart attack or stroke and die in the middle of the mall, which you probably didn't actually buy anything at anyway when you went there. And hell, I didn't have any money. I didn't buy anything. Probably just chilling, like enjoying life without girls who jump out of your car or lie to you, sending you pictures of Subway that are probably out of like a Belks or J.C. Penney catalog. Give a thumbs up if you know what J.C. Penney is. And or Belk or any of that. Sears. Who knows what Sears is? I bet you guys might not know what Sears is. But so this is back then, and I'm like, okay, well, time to put on your big boy pants. Time to put on the big boy pants. Brace for impact. Let's go see what Ashley has. Like, it almost builds anxiety even just thinking about doing it again, but it doesn't. It's thank God. But so and Betty is not the one who, Betty's not Queen, and Betty is not the mother of my child. So this girl, I walk up to Betty, and Betty, again, just goes, "I just wanted to let you know that, I felt like we only got to say it over chat. I had a lot of time to think about it. I'm just really sorry what I put you through." And I'm like, I could have gone without ever hearing this again. I was like, so you're pregnant? And she's like, yeah. And I'm sitting there and, I'm already running through my mind, like trying to do the math. Like, oh my God, like, is it possible? Because how long ago was that her and I were together? Hell, I don't know. I can't remember this morning or yesterday. And but I'm like, so that doesn't have anything to me. And she's like, oh no. And then, she goes on to tell me how she ended up getting pregnant and having this. And at that point, you don't really know what to do. I don't really know what I did do. And I I didn't want to be there anymore. Yeah, and that's another thing about me. But then this back to the introverted thing. If you are an introvert, thumbs up to you for knowing what it's like. And an overthinker and introverted overthinker is probably like the worst combination you could possibly have, if I had to guess. But next to maybe bipolar or something like that. That's probably like your own mental torture. But at that point, I think I probably just like zoned out and like just quit paying attention the whole rest of the time, because there's nothing left to talk about. Like, this was the worst. Your friend come up dead faced, like as straight faced as can be, which I love to do to people. Like, it's part of the thing where I work. Do I do to my coworkers? Just look at them, tell them something that's complete bullshit, and look at them with straight face and wait to see if they realize how much you're messing with them. It's just fun for me. If they don't figure it out, or they take it so serious that they get upset, then we're probably not ever going to be friends anyway, and it sucks. But life's life, and I don't want to waste time being friends with a whole bunch of people that I don't want to hang out with, because I like to consider myself real like that. But sorry. I never talked to her again, ever. And you sit here, and now that when you recount all these things that you did see in life, Queen, let's try to find a place on the map to go to that we haven't been.
I'm trying to get to it. I don't know how to go around these rocks.
Oh, you're trying to get around rocks?
Yes.
I think you got to go
I gotta take care of it. I just
swing
gotta
wide
figure it out.
left and then go around a whole bunch of stuff. But all these things that you remember from when you're younger, and you start to think about, well, what was the worst thing that I've been through, my worst experience, And if I do have to actually think about it, then maybe that shows that I haven't actually had to experience stuff that's too bad. But I've had a situation where I absolutely thought I was going to lose my life. Like, I thought like that was it. Like, I was looking at the end over stupid stuff. Like, and that's the last thing that, you wonder, like, how did someone who gets to the point where I'm at now ever even, wind up in these situations where you do. And I mean, some of them were just wrong place, wrong time. Some of them, one of the scariest moments of my life was just trying to be helpful. And I mean, I've got some pretty cool stories that surround trying to be helpful. Like, I love to be helpful. That's why I do want to have a channel where I'm trying to look so that I put this exactly the way that I want to. I want a channel where, I mean, you're not really helping people, by like giving them free stuff. You want people to be able to obtain things on their own. But some people, I mean, they're doing the best that they can. I know what it's like to struggle. I'm very thankful for where I am in life, but I can tell you that I've worked my way here. My handouts are very far in between. And the handout, what is that weird thing? Look at that, it's so weird. Oh, they're little critters. You know, but people like free stuff. I mean, I want us to continue to have these free giveaways. I put this out here for people to come to so that they could see at the beginning of this video, that giveaway. But
I don't know. I'm done.
I'm making my way around to it, so I might be able to get there. But I'm trying. I gotta work on that. You guys should just be like, all right, stop saying but, and then I do it. So I like to continue the giveaway thing on the channel, and I want to make it to where the people that are here are long-term people. I mean, if you're still watching at this point, I mean, if you've been watching this whole time, you're amazing. If you haven't been watching this whole time and you just watch for a little bit or just having to catch this part, you're still amazing, and thank you. It gives me, motivation to want to keep doing this. The goal here is for the people that are long term. Like, I want to do some good giveaways. I want to, again, since I make okay money, I don't have to rely. Queen, we have to go around to the right, I think. You don't have to play. You can back out. But I just forget it. I do want to, you can get one of those somehow. I want to find out how to get that too. I want to work on good giveaways though. I want to use like this. Okay, so my PC setup, Queen left the party. My PC setup is if you were wondering, most of you probably don't care. Like, I have 7900X with a 4070 Ti. I bought this on my own. I bought everybody the Christmas gifts, so for the family and whatnot, so that I could have every important thing be out of the way. And then I bought this because I've been told that I should. I've been told for years, actually, that I should do this. But it's a little bit of a courage thing. And I didn't think anybody would watch, but here you guys are, and that's awesome. And it makes it worth it. It makes it worth it. So if this does, I don't care if it ever does make money. What would be ultimately cool is if you guys stuck around for the long haul and, continue to support the channel to the point to where it did make some money, and I can continue to just take that money and put it into something like this that I enjoy doing, to make the content even better, invest in. I just don't feel like you necessarily have to pay for the programs for them to be good and usable, because I've found plenty of other ways. I've also found, for just my thumbnails alone, I found workarounds that I won't mention specific. I look up at the thing. I won't mention specific programs or anything that I use, but I mean, it's the same programs that everybody uses. But I found ways around having to. I don't know how to get around here. I'm gonna fast travel. And where the hell can I fast travel to? We're gonna come down the backside of it. And wait, what was that? Whoops. And I want to put the money back into the channel. I want to put it back into giveaways. For us, the people that are going to be here, I want to put it into the setup. I have some things that, if you do stick around, I already have some things that I've bought to give away. It's nothing huge. It's not going to be like the game. Well, technically, I guess it could be a game. It's going to. I have things that'll cater to all audiences here if you are interested in gaming, and these are gonna be for. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that, man. It does mean a lot, and it's. I don't know what it's going to be. And I have a fear of the unknown. But I've also never really managed to, fail at anything that I've ever actually put effort into. So it it get just that alone and the fact that I enjoy doing it keeps me going. And the eagerness to see what it will become. And again, I don't care if it ever gets so big that it makes money, but if it does, then all this money is going to go back. At some point, if it becomes big, any YouTuber is going to do whatever YouTuber does, and of course, you're going to treat yourself. But my number one goal is to put every bit of what I learn, that's number one, what you learn back into the videos and bring in the quality content. I don't think this looks terrible. I'm very open to descriptive constructive criticism. I do really well at that. I don't get offended too terribly easy. Everybody's got their limits, but I just don't. You know, I'm terrible at this. I swear I can type good, but I do. So again, I'll reiterate. I do want the channel to grow. But it could stay 50 of us. It could stay 50 of us. That's cool. Everybody has this, I guess, vision of what they think that it might be. I don't really know what my vision is, other than a whole bunch of us that think alike and who appreciate the same type of content can find a place to be. Because I can't stand all this over the top stuff. I'm not very over the top. I do. I have to go to the bathroom very bad. And so I think what I'll do here is take like a 5 minute break. I guess if I put that in the chat, I don't know if it'll stay there. Again, I'm pretty new. This is my first live where anyone's ever watched, but it's awesome. So I'm gonna try to keep my mental place, and then I'll be back in, let's say, 5 minutes or less, and I'll just leave that here. And then I will continue to explore. If you're watching, you'll see that I warped onto there. Warped. And so I'm going to mute this, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. to mute again. Sorry. All right, sorry about the coughing. This is a we're just gonna say a certain type of friendly channel. We'll go ahead and get that out of the way. So, but it's not obvious. I use stuff that's not obvious. So, and we'll get into a story about that later too. I got a story about pretty much everything. I've encountered a bunch of stuff that not many people have encountered in their life. I can say that for sure. So back to, if anybody's watching now, and if you are watching, thank you. I really appreciate it. I don't know how real time the thing is. I try to keep up with you guys, but I'm new. I don't know what to do. But so the girl's child. It's the story. If you hear, just watch up to this part, and you just see this part. The child is not mine, and never talk to that girl again. So you should go back and watch that story, because that's one of them. And then the other one starts before that. It leads up to life mistakes of doing crap you shouldn't be doing, but you do anyway, and you do it again. So back to what I want this channel to be like again, for people that are here for the long term. Let's watch this channel grow, like what I really want, man. And so the PC, it hasn't. I use a 2 PC stream setup. So sorry, buddy, who's watching for the exploration? If you want, I'll go out here into uncharted lands, and but why does it look like everything's so freaking impossible to get? Oh, okay, yeah, like taking it way up here. What's up? Medium shitty, since I can apparently cuss on here. Queen has informed me. Thank you for watching, man. Thank you for chatting. Thanks. So, the PC that I'm using is like a, I told you it's a 7900X with the 4070 Ti. So I think it brings us a good enough like quality. Like if the color needs to be adjusted, I have no idea how to do that. If you guys know about that, I don't know how to edit. Like I would have liked to have had some kind of like screen for you guys to look at, or something, you know, like some kind of gameplay. Like how do you edit that into OBS? I don't know anything about editing. Like if you guys know easy programs to use, you can leave that in the comments for me. I'll check that out. But I want it to be something, you know, you guys will enjoy coming back to. But I want it to be a channel about us and what we enjoy, not toxicity. So let's go out here. We're gonna fast travel here. But the laptop that I use is actually what I stream from. So I play, of course, on the nice, better ones. But the laptop hasn't done it in a while. It crapped in my early days, like, and crashed on me, and it hasn't done it since. So knock on wood, that doesn't happen again. I'm probably gonna have to go cook some meals here soon.
Needs hunters you can count on.
What? Needs hunters you can count on? Who? Well, I don't see who she is, so we're not going to, oh, that's nice. I'm not from Russia. Awesome, man. Oh, AI translate. I'm doing great, sir. Great. Just glad to have everyone around. And that's for anybody who... I keep hearing the guys talking in this mess. Just glad to have everyone around. Yeah, that's cool. This guy's using Google Translate from Russia, man. Like this is what I'm talking about. It's so okay. So I get a little excited. I do get a little excited. But wouldn't you? I mean, this is an exciting thing that we're working on here. I feel like it's a roller coastery thing too. But so we can make the channel, you know, whatever we want. Like we can make. Okay, so if we can actually build this channel up to, and I'm not trying to inflate it. Anybody who's just joining, just watching, just sees this point and hasn't heard yet. I'm not trying to inflate this channel to anything that's ridiculous. If we can't find a whole group of decent people, then the group just wasn't meant to be that big. But if we could just grow this channel to the point where we can have some fun with it, we get to like so many subscribers. And I want you guys to also help me decide how, you know, how we would do like the next giveaway. Again, for our long-term people, wanting to be our long-term people are going to stay around. But the laptop that I use is a MSI Thin 93 SC or something like that, which 1160, 1193, I don't know, something around there, which I thought was kind of ironic because it has a So, are you actually able to translate my voice? I bet it would help if I didn't say "sir" for him. Let's get back to it. I need this one guy. Who's my explorer guy? Because people are interested in you. Well, that's what I want it to be about. I want it to be interested about me anyway. I don't know who in the hell wants to stare at my mug anyway, to be honest with you, but I guess people there's somebody to watch everybody, right? So let's go out here. We're gonna fast travel to the Weavers something another camp. That translate thing, man, if you are translating my voice, then one, I apologize. I'm a bit of a mumbler. Mumbling, if that translates to people who don't speak clearly. I'm going to the screen spot. So the laptop that I'm streaming on, it did crash, but it seems to be doing pretty good now. Like, I'm pretty happy with what it is. And if you guys want to play games or stuff together too, let's do that. And I'll buy a game. I've been thinking about playing like well, Queen and I both we've been back and forth weighing over you know, playing Helldivers. I'm not. One thing that bothers me a lot is repetition. That's why it bothers me when I sit here going but over and over, but I can't help it. And so don't worry, I'm driving me crazy too. And what's over there? What's that? That's a dire horse. And what the hell was I saying, Queen? Oh yeah. And playing Helldivers too, but the repetition thing. So I don't play Destiny because repetition. I do play Call of Duty. I don't know. I'm willing to play whatever you guys are interested in watching. You know, that we can all essentially play together. I'll do playthroughs. But to get in line with, let's see, go up. Okay, good. To get in line with games that I find interesting that I might want to do something like a playthrough on, it would be like Fallout 4. And this is another one of the reasons too why I switched. I could have streamed, you know, I have a PlayStation 5, I have a Series X, I play everything. And I'm not beyond streaming from those. Browser-based neural network that can translate videos and broadcasts. This is very convenient. About the mumbling, don't worry, everything is fine. Awesome, thank you, man. I love it. I love it already. I love it. What word? Good. Yeah, so I'm just now. At least I know. I got somebody to point out when I can see what you say. Back to. Say it again.
You were saying what consoles you have.
Oh yeah, so I use a capture card, and I don't know if that's the only way. Which there was an interesting setup. I think I have an interesting setup. I have a general knowledge about, and I think this is due to where my father worked my whole entire life, still works, for a telephone, much more so is these days this place stinks, man. I've been here. I'd have like a short video of this, but this place is terrible. What's this for? Just tell me to pop that up. There's nothing around. I do have a general understanding of how input, output, audio, and stuff like that works. It was quite interesting getting it working. I'm pretty sure that I have something set up that is, or at least an OBS that is way more than it needs to be. And so by you saying that, watch some videos on setting up OBS for streaming, I've watched so many. And I'm that type of person that doesn't watch everything all the way through, even though I know I should. Activity tracking. I'm not tracking activity. I'm exploring from a man. What was his name? I don't know if you're still watching, sir. I hope you are. Clean Snipes. If not, I hope you come back later to this video and check it out. There's ADD. So I said I knew I shouldn't do something. And what did I say?
You're exploring. You hate
I don't know what I was saying. Oh yeah, back to the OBS thing. So I don't watch everything all the way through, and I know that I should. I'd learn. I mean, I'm working on correcting, some mistakes that I have, and it's a lot to learn, which I'm sure you know. And yeah, why does it want me to go to these crazy places? Like, this dude, if you're watching for the exploration, buddy, you're getting it, because this is nuts. 2.3 kilometers on the other side of the world. It's all a learning thing. It's impressive and awesome that people even want to stick around to watch this little bit at the beginning. But I'll sit here and I'll watch the things. So, and I was talking earlier about the games, like suggesting some things to play. And if you guys aren't going to be the type of audience that even cares about like transitions, other than a little short video, when I go on breaks and stuff, like you were saying, I need to watch for. I want to learn, and we all grow together. And you guys watch me grow, because it seems like a lot of you are actually interested in that, and that's exciting. What's not exciting is how long it's taking to get all over the place. But I feel like I'm doing a good job until you get to like this, and then it's like, what am I really supposed to like see? And then the traversal, like, how does this work? And this is where third person would have come into play. But at least I'm not sitting over here bouncing my legs and knees like I always do. Oh, look, there's a vine way over there that I could have used. Guess we're going that way. Go up to this vine where you can climb right up the wall anyway. I mean, playing video games. So if you guys would like to hear about my video game history, I'll leave you with that. Not leave you with that, but I'll go into that. And how I got to be where I am. So I do play Call of Duty. If you guys watch Call of Duty, then you've seen, if you've been on the page, you've seen that I do have videos. I do have videos of that. But I'm really getting burnt out on it. I don't like how everything has become microtransactions. That's kind of part of why I like this game. But just Call of Duty, I feel like we got hoodooed to the max. I understand that they recycle things, but to load into a game, you're sitting here and you anticipate the new game like Grand Theft Auto. And what would you do if you sat here? And I know Call of Duty releases, every year. So that aside, then how high would this thing take me? Ooh, not high enough probably. Nope, and I'm back down the hill. So, but imagine if all this hype got built up to GTA 6, and you're sitting here and you're envisioning whatever it may be. I haven't really followed it because I know it takes forever, and it's best not to get too excited. This could be bad. Slash. Good. But if you, like when you play Modern Warfare 2, you can try to spend 10 minutes studying the interface by following the video step by step, after which you will be able to intuitively configure. You sound like you are very streaming savvy, sir. But you know, I've noticed too that people from different countries actually Americans, we tend to not know as much as, you know, we think we do, and be the best at everything we think we are. But I don't want to get into the politics, all that kind of mess. Say it again, Queen. Okay, so back to Modern Warfare 2. So once I was waiting for, imagine this scenario is GTA 6, but in a 1 year span. And everybody knows that follows gaming like that the reputation they got after coming out with Climb the Hill, man. You climb all kinds of crazy stuff. The reputation after they came out with Vanguard. And Vanguard, I actually didn't think Vanguard was that terrible. Like, I thought it was okay. The explosiveness was a little bit much, but yeah, I think it was fun for me because if you guys played like Battlefield back when micro destruction was big or a thing, then it was pretty close to that, and I liked that. You can't believe me break my legs for bouncing off of something you put in the game. How's that work? But then, so they come out with, there's a whole bunch of these. Oh no. They come out, and so the entrance to the museum, which actually they haven't put in there. I wish they did. I liked that map. But the entrance to the museum was you getting in a vehicle and riding up to the thing, and that was riding up to coming into the match. And that was the first thing that I noticed was 100% down to the noise. It was recycled. The entrance of something else was the exact same as the border map from Modern Warfare 2. Again, it's letting me break my legs on everything. And so that's just the type of the stuff I don't want to get roped into playing anything like that. And that's why Modern Warfare is dying to me. And I'm sitting here playing this because this kind of fits what I believe from what people have told me, unless it's just troll chats. But in order for that to be the case, they would have all had to have gotten together. What do you work for outside of streaming? I understand, but I work too hard to set aside time for frequent streams. Yeah, so, I mean, I work hard too. I actually work for the Postal Service, the U.S. Postal Service. So, what I do, I take that very seriously. So, I like to feel like my job is, even though letter mail isn't as prominent as it once was, we're steering towards a business model, and this is all boring as crap. I know it's boring to me, and I don't want to talk about work, but to answer your question, it's this is my getaway. I mean, I have to make time for this. I still manage to put time aside for this, amongst other things of taking care of, my son. And there's other things, you know, that you guys after some time will get to know that I have that keep me plenty busy. But I got to make time for my old stuff, man. I mean, this is something I've been doing forever, and I just incorporated the stream part in because if you do this a lot, I mean, and if people will watch you, and you can't decipher how many years people have been telling you that you should do something like streaming because they feel like people would watch you and find you entertaining, then I'm gonna try to make time for that. And it is you know, you'd like to make something of it. It'd be neat because honestly, I think everybody where I work knows this too. That if I were to make enough money doing this, then I would put my time into this. Because why would you not? I mean, I put most of my time into where I work because they pay me to do it. And if this paid to do it and keep the channel exactly the way I wanted it, gear and weapons, material pouches full, then, you know, this would be way more ideal. Anybody that says that, like, I wouldn't have a problem motivating myself, but anybody who says that they actually, you get a lot where I work, people coming in, because I work the front counter. So you get a lot of people that come in and they're retired. You know, we serve a lot of people in the older community that they're like, I don't know what I would do with myself, you know, if I didn't, if, or they act like, you know, you shouldn't sit back waiting for retirement to take place because it's kind of boring or whatnot, or and I don't know what to do with myself. And I can find something to do with myself. I can be a productive person. I mean, to me, this is productive. I'm putting effort into, you know, something and trying to make it enjoyable for more people than myself. You know, this is what makes me happy, and I'm just willing to take along anybody else who being here with me makes happy. I got it. And that just comes along with the territory of it. Is this ever going to end, or am I just going to climb for days? Because it's not very convincing that you can actually make it this way. Nope, he's not making it. You better make it. I went a long way. We got there. All right. Now it's getting gritty. Sorry, guys. I'm doing stuff I'm not supposed to be able to do. But I usually fake it. This is years of video game experience at your disposal. It's not working out. Where's it gonna go? Can you make it there? Can you make it there? Where are we at? I'm looking straight up, aren't I? Do you think you can make that gap? I hope you can make this gap, because I don't really want to find another way around. All right. We kind of scammed our way into that one, didn't we? What? So to touch on how I got started into gaming, though. I remember being a kid, and I guess Sega Genesis, growing up around my grandfather, that's pretty much where all my friends lived, where my grandfather did. So every weekend I went over there, and that's where all my friends were. We lived out in the country, so there was no, I haven't seen these yet. There wasn't any just going over to my friend's house. So then when, is this guy gonna run? All the time. So every weekend my parents, of course, they were just dumping us off. You know, my brother and I, they were just dumping us off at my grandparents' house so they could have their free time, which nothing wrong with that. And my friends had a Sega Genesis. And I'd played before that at another friend's house, probably age of 11, 12, 13, like a regular Nintendo. And I'd also, the first thing I ever played was an Atari. My dad had like a 2600. And I even tried E.T., which was a terrible game. Man, I don't even know if you could actually call that a game. Look at this. There's something way over there that I bet if I go over there, I'll die. So this has definitely turned into an exploration thing. but it's very empty. This is how I felt Power World was. I felt like Power World was very empty once you get out into the outskirts of things. I probably need to eat anyway. But oh, what's this fruit? Fortune's fruit. I don't want to eat that. I'm just gonna eat this mushroom. If it's not okay, it's fine. So that I started with that. My grandfather, he was good at spoiling. So he every Christmas I would sit there and wish. It was probably only two because he'd get you what you wanted, even if it meant he had to be broke. And he was like this with the whole family. That down the hill. I wished for probably 2 years for a Super Nintendo. And then I finally got the Super Nintendo. And I think I just had Super Mario Kart and Super Mario World, which was plenty fine. And I ended up with, all the stuff back then. I had the the multiplayer adapter. I had Saturday Night Slam Masters, a game called Sunset Riders, Super Mario Kart. And with that multiplayer adapter, it's cool. And that's probably, now that I think about it, what got me started with my infatuation with multiplayer. Like, playing this is not against, but different from what I normally do. Hence, talking about playing Call of Duty a lot and how I've gotten tired of it. Oh, and okay, so just to end that too. The recycling of the same game. Modern Warfare 3 is Modern Warfare 2, just to make a long story short. And that's disappointing. And this, to me, is more fun and more beautiful. Like, I really do like the graphics of this. I know they're not quite the same that they are for you guys. But, so I had the Super Nintendo. And, a couple years go by, and I ended up with, and we'll just run through that. I ended up with a PlayStation PSX, I guess people ended up calling it. I only knew it as a PlayStation 1. But I had that, and then eventually got that is in Russian, sir. And I do have a S24 Ultra, but I don't know how to use it yet to translate Russian like that, which would be cool. It doesn't tell you on here. You'd think it would. Excuse me. I need to fast travel somewhere else because I don't know where I am. Why is this not uncovered? I walked out here. You would think it would uncover the map. Do you have to travel as part of the mission, or did I really go way... Oh, I did go way out here, didn't I? Okay, let's fast travel on another point then. It's back to this camp. I probably need to make some more food. But after getting the PlayStation 1, I played this game called Need for Speed V Rally a lot. I think it was the only game I actually had. A Chinese Dindy. I actually don't know what that is. And I have watched many, like on the evolution, many videos on like the evolution of consoles. I've never heard of that. That is interesting. I might have to check that out. Do you know where right, take note of that one.
Etua is young. She is naive. She grieves her mother.
Young and naive, she says, like a young boy on Yahoo Chat, meeting people and then finding out. That's a terrible idea.
Nothing to sustain them.
Say it again. It's called a Chinese Dindy. Thanks for that, though. That's awesome. Like, I like learning about everything, to be honest. And so, what are these guys? What are they up to? I don't want that. So, I get the PlayStation 1. I'm playing Need for Speed V Rally. Oh, Test Drive was also big back then. That was probably Need for Speed Hot Pursuit became huge. The Super Nintendo was the main thing in my memory up into the PlayStation 1 with those games. And there's always eggs up here. I cooking ingredients pouch is full. This is why I was supposed to go to the oh no, to the place and cook stuff. I'm gonna go to the home tree. And I don't really remember. So they had. I don't really remember the first. Hold on, I lost my train of thought. I think it was the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. And Test Drive 4 was big. I think the Hot Pursuit was the first big one, though. Oh, here's something it wants me to see. Dapafet pod. That's not what it wants me to see. And whoa, what is that? That's home tree? Twisted scale tree. What does that do? Then, so I don't really remember a whole lot of what I played. Just other than learning like Resident Evil. I didn't like Resident Evil really at all. To me, so the reason I don't like Resident Evil, and I love open world like this and would love to play something like Fallout 4, hence again why I'm glad that I have everything as far as, oh, I don't want anything exquisite, all, the consoles and PC is, let me see that thing spewing. Bellsprig, oh yeah. To me, Resident Evil, and I also think there's another game that shares the same trait, in my opinion, health permanently increased. 858. But so it's too scripted. I don't like being forced. Tomb Raider is the same way, in my opinion. Now I may be wrong, and feel free to criticize me on this, but they just feel like very scripted games. I also don't like running around trying to figure my way through a puzzle, even though I love a good puzzle. I love physical puzzles that you know, hold in your hand and do. Not Rubik's Cubes. But what are they doing?
It is good to meet a friend.
It's just, I don't like having to scramble around while I try to figure out where I'm going to get bullets to kill a zombie, because that's just not fun to me. That comes after me. I don't play Modern Warfare Zombies, again, back to repetition. It's the same thing over and over. I don't want to do that. But Fallout 4 was good. So I didn't play all those on PlayStation. And then, around the transition of PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 is where the story that I told earlier, the first one about moving to the beach area when I got catfished, is the transition from PS1 to PS2. So I think I did have a PS2. I took that with me, but we didn't have internet out there. And what's she doing? She's like, she's praying or something. And I didn't have internet, so I didn't play that. While I was working at the Rent-A-Center that I told you I got a job at there, I did end up with like an Xbox, like the first one. I don't even know what people call the first Xbox, because to me it's always just been Xbox since I only had the first one. I did have a 360 at one point. I had a Nintendo 64. After PS2, I moved in with a Serbian. So this will be fun for you, Medium. Like, I lived with a Serbian and a Croatian when about the time that the PS3 came out, that maybe a year or two after that. And they were actually two of the coolest people that I've ever met in my life. We used to go to uptown Charlotte, North Carolina, and it was different being people, you know, everyone has their country's appearance or whatnot, whatever you want to call it. And people just know, you know, you got some white dude walking around with a Serbian who's like 6'2", and a Croatian who's like my height, like 5'8", 5'9", somewhere in there. But it was cool. And so that's a time period for the PlayStation 3, and I did. He had internet. He was what inspired me to get it. I played Killzone. I remember a lot back then. Then time goes on, and at some point I ended up with a PS4. So how would I have ended up with a PS4? That would have been after I met the girl at the pizza place we were working at here. And, oh, here's the cooking thing. I've been looking for it sloppily for a minute. But, so we found out with these, if anybody's actually interested in this game, if you don't know anything about it. So I'll run by this real quick before I go back to the game consoles that I've ran through. Egg does blast resistance, and fatty meats do bark skin, which is less damage from wildlife on RDA. These are the different fatty meats. Fish meat does stealthy, and fruits do hardy. Mushrooms do ambush. So I'm just going to take a meat here because they seem to have pretty good. Now, and they also have, like, this one's fine. This one's superior. I don't do anything, especially while I'm just sitting here talking. Maybe if I made a video just for the play, and I'll put that in there. So I'm just making food. I don't really care. I moved. So I was working for a pizza place. Ended up being a manager and having my own store within a year. Because pizza's food services easy. It is super stressful, but easy. And ended up with a PlayStation 4 after I met that girl and moved into my own place in Charlotte, North Carolina, where I moved from where I'd been after living with my grandfather for, I think I lived there the next 10 years. But I ended up having a PlayStation 4 and played. That's when I really started Call of Duty. I'd been back and forth from Call of Duty and Battlefield. I switched from Battlefield once Battlefield kind of got rid of the micro destruction. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for here. And maybe I'll go hunt something real quick. But so once Battlefield kind of got away from the micro destruction, then I went to Call of Duty because I like the fast pace. I played Black Ops 1. This is really when I got back into gaming good and started to learn about different genres, and I still don't know any of them. I have Final Fantasy 16, which I have played very little of. I actually won it from awesome Facebook community, PS5 community, which I'm a part of over there. You guys can check it out if you want. And so I got into Fallout 4 real big, but that was also when I didn't have internet. After Call of Duty Black Ops 2 came out, then I didn't really... Black Ops 2 was the first game that made me feel like, or first Call of Duty, and I felt like I was on like roller skates. And I didn't like that when you stop, so this to me, if I move and then stop, yeah, I keep running. But I wasn't used to that in Call of Duty, and that's just what it felt like I was doing. I just slow down to a stop, but it just didn't feel right in a shooter. Like now, you can kind of hop and stop just like that on Call of Duty. And I keep saying it over and over. The next one I played was Black Ops 4.
I can help.
Oh, they're going to give me free stuff. But it always says my pouch is full.
Please.
So I'm scared I'm not going to be able to take it.
I saw a Tarsu sapling nearby earlier.
Tarsu sapling. Then the next Black Ops I played was 4. After that, Black Ops 4, and that's when everything exploded into, somebody could probably correct me on here if I'm wrong, like Battle Royale. My first Battle Royale experience was not Fortnite. Fortnite to me is easy. I don't even really want to put that on the table, to be completely honest. Unless it's something you guys are really that interested in. Christine and Rain. Blackout was fun to me, like super fun. Like you ran around. If you haven't played Blackout, if you were after that, that was Black Ops 4 Blackout, and you would pick up the primary weapon, and then you would run around and pick up the different attachments for it. and I would always drop at the dam, and I did. I wish I still had footage from that. I don't. I don't know actually why I don't. I guess PlayStation probably deletes your stuff after you're inactive so long. But I've had this same account since '09. But you pick up those attachments. I got really good at it. I had a bunch of solo wins. Look, a random person. Bunch of solo wins, which I wish I had. Oh, NPC to the max. So let's find a new place to go. All right, I'll get it on here, and you're not. Obviously, I just run around and around and around. So I can go take over this, but every time you go, it's a level 20, and I'm not that high of a level. I need to go find a quest, and I'll just try to focus on the quest while I'm doing this. So I'm gonna do the quest. Show on map. Am I right here at it? It looks I'm right here at it. I am. It's in Home Tree. Sorry. Not sorry. But so Black Ops 4, and that's when, you know, the graphics started to come in. The PS4 Pro came out, and I love that because I'd been playing Black Ops or Blackout on just the PS4, and then I got the PS4 Pro. So I am looking forward to the PS5 Pro. I don't know that I'll actually buy it. It doesn't warrant buying it a whole lot when you have a PC. Ah, I got some clan favor going here. I can actually buy some stuff. I don't really... Elemental resistance, health. Well, that goes down. Why would I want that? What's this? 24 health. I already have that. I have 2 of those, but they're superior. So I guess I can use them to craft. Crafting materials pouch is full. But that's not the objective. They are arguing in the commons at Home Tree. Where? They gotta be somewhere. All right, navigation. Oh, there they are. They're up there bitching back and forth. So after, but I am looking forward to, hopefully there'll be PS5 maybe worth it. But again, this game plays at 41 frames per second, which I guess is because it's very demanding. Oh, there we go. But it looks good. I don't think it's too choppy. And they say you can't see over 60, but I swear in the background I can tell when it's way low. I think this is just consistent. And they act like it's going to be great, but you know how it is whenever the new console is going to come out. Just like GTA 6, at least with GTA 6, everything comes straight from Rockstar. We know what to expect on that. It's not going to be like, we were promised all of a sudden, oh yeah, we are coming out with a new Call of Duty, and then it's Modern Warfare 3. Anybody knows what the little trails things are, if they're supposed to be there, then let me know how to make that stop, or if that's probably just a game optimization, because it looks good other than that weird streamy thing. And to everybody watching, thank you. Like,
there is no honor in fleeing.
This is so much fun, and you like don't want to stop. And you get to a point where you're like, you gotta, you gotta prep up. So you gotta be ready. You gotta be able to give people. And we already talked about them arguing. You gotta give people something that they want to keep interest in, and it's not just gonna be enough always to. Oh, I guess I got to talk to them about their problems. I'm a therapist now. I can be your therapist. Not gonna be much help, but
near your home, creating a huge mess. Would you be concerned?
No, I hope that there's more people that will watch this later on.
But what if someone got hurt? When we see
like I don't really know how to promote my stuff yet. I've been doing all my promoting by shorts. How you guys found me most likely. Probably the only way you found me. I'm working on, what'll get more people, because the people that are still here right now are the people that I want us to be filled with.
I could use a hand out there.
People just like you and
I'd be happy to help. But I don't want to cause trouble.
This chair is hurting my butt.
Ignore him. It is what I do. The flying thing went down in Weaver's Flourish.
Oh,
near
I
the
bet
river.
this is
It's a
about to
good
be
place to start.
You will not find anything, Alemon.
where
This is a waste of time. Sarantu, I suggest you stay away from matters that do not concern you.
a little better. I bet I'm supposed to go find this flying thing. They're arguing in the comments, and now it's the next part. Locate the crash Alimon. Her patrol of the six. I subscribe to you because it would really be interesting to watch your progress. Have a nice game. I'm interested in the progress of something that isn't what's typical at the moment, anyway. So where's the landing? We got to find it on the quest thing here. Because I know people will just sit here and watch. I mean,
It's 4 a.m. over here.
oh man, 4 a.m. Thank you so much, man. I hope you come back and check me out some other time. I appreciate your advice and everything. And thank you so much again. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. What? Oh yeah, and I will have another stream next Saturday. I'm gonna start up here every Saturday at 7. I was at 8. So this is a level 4 place, but that's not the quest. So let's see. And so that is the level 4, the Unsung Hunter. We want to not stop tracking. We want to go to, it is tracked. So that's the Unsung Hunter. We go to the blue mark, correct? Or the green mark. Yeah. And so I've been talking to my new Russian friend here. Thank you to anybody else who may be watching, maybe checking this video out later on. Just a view is enough to keep me going. I like the subscribes and all that stuff, but just knowing that somebody will watch my content, you know, is worth a lot. So we are on to, at this point, all right, so I had the PlayStation 4 Pro. And I've gotten the HDMI 2.1 cable. Went out and bought a NU8000 when my LG crapped out on me. And which, by the way, if you like LG, more power to you. I'm a Samsung guy. I'm on Odyssey G5. I would like a better monitor with a little higher refresh rate, but 165, that's pretty good, right? Absolutely doable. And I ended up in a situation where I had always done this. It was around Christmas time. I was trying to get up some extra money, and I would always sell my console on eBay and then buy whatever upgraded version of it, be it the PlayStation 4 Pro or, you know, maybe the PS5 Pro in this upcoming scenario. Possible scenario, should I say. And so I sold to what I called at the time and my work mom, because her son, his PS3 just crapped out on it. He wasn't the type to buy, you know, the new gen stuff. So I had my used one. I'm like, well, the PS5 is getting ready to come out, so I just buy the PS5. And this is before the PC. So I'm like, you know, I'll just buy the PS5 when it comes out. And of course, I'm not sleeping. I feel you, bro. And then COVID hits after I sell her my PS4. And so I'm waiting, you know, for the PS5 to launch. And COVID hits, and you can't get one, like, anywhere. So I don't even know how long it was. What did we get? Maybe the PS5, I got mine 2 years ago. So it's, you know, after the launch of it. And I remember, you know, it was like mortified almost. So then I'm trying to search for, I'm trying to search for a PlayStation 4 at the time. Because they're like, oh, they're going to start making the PS4 because of the shortage of chips for the PS5. And I'm like, okay, well, you know what? I don't know enough about stuff like electronics like that to tell you what chips you need for chips you need for each one. But don't you just make them out of metals? And I know silicone was like an issue or something. Silicon, however you want to say it. I bet there was other silicone uses they didn't have a problem getting. But so I went for a while without playing anything, and Queen and I were trying to find something, you know, to do with ourselves, and she liked watching me play games and stuff, and so we decided to see if she would you know, like playing something herself. So I got her split screen, but she learned dual thumbsticks through me. If you guys are watching this and you have a significant other or just a relative or anybody who doesn't want to, you know, that wants to learn dual thumbsticks or doesn't want to play video games but is somewhat interested in them and intimidated by the mechanics of a controller, I get it. I started out when there was no thumbsticks. I got used to when there was one thumbstick, which didn't last very long on like DualShock or DualShock 2 until they put the second thumbstick on there, and they didn't really do anything. They did click. They have clicked from the start, if anyone wondered and didn't know. I doubt you wondered, but if you didn't know. So, how did they get a superior thing? I never found a superior, I don't think. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so I'll give you, you know, if you want, let me know in the comments some pointers, or not pointers, if you're interested in me doing a video on pointers for something like that. The other thing, one thing I want to do a video on is teaching people how to better their KD, and I'll use Call of Duty. It'll work in all games because it's just basic fundamentals, and I think it's something that if people, you know, aren't trained to do, which I trained Queen, and Queen is quite good at Call of Duty. You can see her scores and some of my gameplays that I have on there. And what do we have down here? I knew it. No. There's gonna be these are fun. You guys watch this real quick. These guys are really, really dumb. So you can kind of set them up with this thing here. Craft one. What's the thing to the right? Siren pod? I don't even know what that is. I'd like to do a video on increasing KD and how I've done it. My KD is a 1.43 on Call of Duty. I'm gonna set these suckers up, watch. Oh, they're gonna be angry now. Bah. Okay. I hope you can't see me. Oh, he fell for it. So I taught Queen how to do, I'll do a video on aiming in general. Aiming in general is tough for some people. Like you know, I'll cover a few things that if you want to see that in a video. Give you techniques for teaching somebody dual thumbsticks. I'll tell you what I used for Queen to guide her through what she knows. I don't mind doing tutorials. I know at some point I'll do one, at least one. I'm trying to figure out this thing. We're about to go blast these dudes. If you haven't seen the weapon, we're about to do that. Or the assault rifle. Where's this guy? Blasted him real quick. Oh, this little thing. That's right. It spits seeds at you. My cooking ingredients pouch is full. So the pouch thing This is something else I got to work on too. I got assault rifle rounds. So I don't really, and you want to make sure you pick up all your stuff that you don't use because they stand out. Oh, and it went under there, of course. How? But let me know. I'm gonna go ahead and work on wrapping it up, guys. It's been 2.5 hours. Thank you again for stopping by, watching. Do me a favor, leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It's only going to get better. The next giveaways I will make a video for, and I'll make a video for the next giveaway. I'll post that on the channel. You know, if you have some friends that like chill content, you know, let them know if you think they'll enjoy this. Let me know what you'd like to see played. Let me know what you'd like to see me play that I haven't mentioned. I have other games. I don't even know they're on the desktop, and I don't want to tab out because it'll mess up the video. But let me know what you guys think, man. It's my first stream where I know you guys are watching, and again, I really appreciate it. Yesterday I didn't even have 50 followers, and I know that the giveaway brings a lot of them. I've never had anybody watch a live stream until today, so this is a feat in itself for me, and I want to thank everybody for being here. Again, I don't want to spoil the giveaway, but I have them, and they're all here. But so it's something everybody can use, and you won't be able to see what they are. But I got more than one. So once we figure out, you guys get with me, figure out how we should decide who's been here long enough and how we're gonna. Because honestly, it was a disaster picking who was gonna get the free game. I still have to contact him, and there's still people. Oh, there's still people coming. And if you are just joining me, then I'm wrapping it up. It's been 2.5 hours, guys. I'd like to keep it going, but I got to prep up. I got more life stories coming for you guys. I got to plan out with hopefully everyone that's joined the channel what we're going to do for our next giveaway, and how we're going to decide that. How we're going to keep it straight to where I can pick exactly what I want, because it doesn't exactly show you what you would think that it would go into for you to have a selection. But it was everything that I wanted to be. But thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And that bell's annoying, but if that doesn't bother you, leave that so you'll know when I do my next live stream. And thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.